Sue Moroney.
Well, thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Women's Affairs and asks, does she have any positive announcements to make for New Zealand mothers as families prepare to celebrate Mother's Day?
Mr Speaker.
Honourable Joe Goodhue.
Mr Speaker, yes, a number of positive announcements. Mothers will celebrate an additional $21.3 million over 4 years to fight rheumatic fever amongst their children. An additional $70 million extra for aged care and dementia, which will help older mothers and those mothers caring for their parents. They will also be celebrating the March 2013 Household Labour Force survey, showing an increase in female employment of 0.9 percentage points over the last year and a drop in the unemployment rate of 0.2 percentage points in the last year, the first quarter since December 2011. Mr Speaker, I'd like to take this opportunity to wish all of the mothers present in this House a joy-filled day on Sunday.
Supplementary question. Order. Supplementary question. Sue Moroney.
Thank you to the Minister, but has she seen the report from Save the Children on the state of the world's mothers, which shows New Zealand in 17th place in 2013, plummeting from 4th place in its 2012 report?
Honourable Joe Goodhue.
Mr Speaker, yes, I have seen reports about that report, and I'm aware that the chair of our very own Perinatal and Maternal Mortality Review Committee has disputed the figures in that report and says that for the majority of women we have a very safe and effective system. In fact, her figures, the actual figures for New Zealand, are very different to the figures in that report. In our first budget, we committed more than $103 million over 4 years to improve maternity services. In 2011, this government committed an extra $54 million in this area, and in 2012, an extra $20.5 million. No one could say that this government is not doing more for mothers and babies.
Order.
Supplementary
question. Sue Moroney.
Well, how does she explain then Australia being
Order.
3 places?
Order. And this time the noise is definitely coming from the far right-hand corner of the chamber. Sue Moroney. Order. And now it's coming from the front bench of the Labor Party. So can we please have consideration for the member asking the question? Point of order, right on.
Speaker, I think when a Speaker gives a ruling that seems to be unfair to some person, I think it's beholden on a Member of Parliament to raise the issue as to whether it was fair. Now, you look at the far corner of the House, that's Mr Gilmore, and he wasn't making noise at all.
And I wasn't referring to him, and that's not a valid point of order. Sue Moroney.
Thank you.
Supplementary question.
Thank you. Does she attribute the staggering decline of 13 places in New Zealand's ranking as a country for mothers to the fact that the 2012 report relied on data from 2007 onwards, when Labor was in government, whereas the 2013 report used data gathered since 2010?
Mr Speaker.
Honourable Joe Goodhue.
What I am relying on, I can answer the member that what I am relying on to keep this report in perspective is the comments from the chairwoman of the Perinatal and Maternal Mortality Review Committee, who says that their own report shows about 1 in 8,000 women dying in pregnancy or childbirth, which varies greatly from the 1 in 3,300 in that report. The additional information that their chairperson, Cindy Farquhar, was able to give was that we have a comprehensive data collection system, unlike Australia, which may account for why they rated better in the report.
Question. Supplementary question. Sue Moroney.
Well, does she agree with the Prime Minister when he said he thought paid parental leave will increase 1 day? And if so, does she think that 1 day will be while she is the Minister of Women's Affairs, or will families need to elect a Labor government to extend paid parental leave?
Honourable Joe Goodhue.
Mr Speaker, I'm in agreement with what the Prime Minister said, and he has said it publicly several times. The government still plans to veto the bill to extend paid parental leave, as he has said. We are not opposed to paid parental leave. We already have it in New Zealand and more would be better. What we are saying is that paid parental leave increase now will either mean that we have to forego our goal of getting back to surplus or stop spending money on something else. We're not ruling out an extension at some stage when the books are back in surplus. We're just saying it's not the right time to do it now.
Supplementary.
Supplementary. Sue Moroney.
When will the right time be, Minister?
Honourable Joe Goodhue.
Mr Speaker, we all look forward to the day that we are back in surplus.
Well, when they're back in surplus.
Question number 12, Tim McIndoe.